If GPS went down tonight, your phone would be the least of it. A plane could lose position, a ship could turn wrong, a missile could chase bad coordinates. Because GPS isn't just location, it's timing. Banks, cell towers, power grids, markets, emergency systems, all syncing to one invisible clock. But it doesn't have to go dark to fail. If the signal is spoofed, everything can still look normal. The system stays on. It just stops being right. This isn't a future warning. Aviation authorities are already alerting pilots. GPS interference, jamming, spoofing. It's happening now. The first danger isn't a crash. It's doubt. A plane can still fly while the crew starts questioning what the instruments are telling them. At sea, the problem gets heavier. A ship doesn't have to sink. It only has to trust the wrong coordinates for too long. And then it moves inland. Control rooms, dispatch centers, city infrastructure, all running on precise timing, all asking the same question: can we trust what we're seeing? That's the real vulnerability. The system doesn't have to go down. If the signal shifts quietly, everything keeps moving, just not toward the place it thinks. At first, it looks minor. A wrong turn, a frozen route, a driver staring at a map that no longer matches the road. Then it reaches the people who can't wait. The ambulance is moving, the siren is on, but the GPS may already be wrong. Delivery doesn't collapse at once, it slips. Wrong docks, late trucks, cold packages sitting while the system tries to catch up. At the airport, the disruption lands on the ground, not in the sky. Vehicles, crews, and gates fall out of sync. At the port, every minute starts costing money. Cranes wait, trucks queue, containers stop moving because the schedule no longer holds. This is how it spreads, not panic, delay. One system slips, another pays, then the clock itself becomes the failure. Here's the part most people miss. GPS doesn't just help machines find their location, it also sends them the exact time, again and again. Cell towers don't just need coverage, they need rhythm. If timing slips, the network can still stand, while connections quietly degrade. Financial markets have the same dependency. They don't only need prices, they need order. Which trade happened first? Which one arrived too late? Power grids depend on timing too. A small mismatch, invisible to most people, can make the system harder to read when operators need clarity most. And this isn't just a metaphor. GPS timing helps synchronize communications, power grids, financial networks, and critical infrastructure. That's why a city can still look normal while something is already wrong. Lights on, traffic moving, but underneath, the clock has started to slip. And when timing slips, the next failures don't look connected. Money, power, internet, but all of them depend on GPS timing. The first sign looks ordinary. A card fails, a payment hangs. The store stays open, but trust starts cracking. In finance, that crack runs deeper. Markets don't just need prices, they need sequence. When timestamps conflict, order breaks. And the cost isn't abstract. One major study estimated a GPS outage could hit about $1 billion a day. That's not navigation. The internet feels it too. Not gone, just degraded. Calls freeze, systems lag, but nothing explains why. On the power grid, uncertainty gets dangerous. Electricity may still flow, but operators are reading data they can't fully trust. Then normal life starts changing. Lights stay on, Phones still glow, but payments, connections, and control systems feel less reliable. And then it turns physical. Warehouses slow, trucks wait. A digital delay becomes empty space on real shelves. This is where delay gets expensive, not dramatic. Cold storage, medical shipments, products that can't wait. The slowdown spreads through places most people never see. Rail yards, cross docks, loading bays. Every pause adds weight downstream. Hospitals feel it differently, not as empty shelves, as missing parts, delayed medicine. One late box becomes a harder decision. At the store, the shortage builds backstage. The shelf looks fine until the next truck doesn't arrive on time. Then the cost starts moving forward. Fuel routes shift. Food arrives late. Small businesses feel it first, before customers see it. But this still isn't the worst version. Delay hurts. Confusion spreads. Then someone realizes the signal can become a weapon. Now the failure stops looking accidental. A transmitter comes online. The signal shifts. GPS becomes contested space. For drones and guided systems, false coordinates can look clean. The machine keeps moving, confident, toward the wrong point. Jamming cuts the signal. Spoofing is quieter. It doesn't remove the answer. It replaces it. The effect doesn't stay on the battlefield. Airports near conflict zones keep operating, but crews see less certainty. Once doubt enters the cockpit, every reading becomes a question. Is the system wrong, or is reality wrong? And in a crisis, seconds matter. A delayed decision can separate a correct response from a costly one. So the question shifts. If GPS can be jammed, spoofed, or turned against trusted systems, what backup still works? When GPS gets shaky, people don't freeze. They start cross-checking. Radio, ground stations, local clocks, manual confirmation. The backup still works, but it gets slower, more manual, and easier to overload when everyone needs it at once. Most days, none of this feels fragile. You tap, you drive, you call, and the system answers. But behind that answer, there is timing. Not visible, not dramatic, just there, until it isn't. So here's the real question. If GPS failed tomorrow, what would you notice first in your own life?